CG Customs, we want to hear about revenue. We want to know what your budget was last year, your target, and what you have achieved, and what your projection is for 2025.
All right, thank you very much. The chairman of the Finance Committee, Senate, chairman of the Finance Committee, House of Representatives, all other chairmen, distinguished senators, honorable members of the House, honorable ministers here present, particularly my minister and the chairman of the Nigeria Customs Service Board, distinguished heads of agencies here present, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start by riding with the submission of the Honorable Minister that indeed there are some modest gains that have been made in the economy despite all the challenges that we experienced in 2024. If we are talking strictly about the revenue and in terms of the target, I want to say that we did well. Our target for 2024 was 5.09 trillion, 5 trillion and some few millions. As at the middle of November, sometimes last week, we have reached this target. We have generated a total of just a moment. We've generated a total of 5 trillion 352 billion, so 5.3 trillion naira, which we have generated as at the middle of November 2024. For 2025, it is projected that we will expect to make an increase of 20% on the 2024 performance. And this will mean that we will be expected to generate 6.3 trillion naira in 2025. The document we submitted also expects that there would be 10% increase in 2026 and 2027. I want to submit that from our experience in 2024, this is achievable based on some of the indicators of our performance that we saw in 2024. We also discovered that when we implement some of the observations made in 2023 and we put them in place in 2024, it was easier for us to reach this target. One of the major issues that this Parliament has emphasized in the previous implementation is the issue of waivers and concessions. In 2024, there was significant progress in this because the total concession granted in 2024 came down to only 1.3 trillion. And this represents a 34% reduction over and above the period, the amount which we considered and waived in 2023. There are a number of other indicators pointing towards the fact that it will be a better performance in 2025. We introduced a number of trade facilitation measures which help us to reduce the time and the cost of doing business. We introduced the pilot authorized economic operator program, and we have picked 9 big companies, 9 big stakeholders to pilot, and by the first quarter of 2025, we are going to run this scheme in full steam, and we expect that this would help us to facilitate trade and increase turnover period of cargo. Also, we've also started the advanced ruling, which would help importers and exporters to understand how much rates of duty they are going to pay on their goods, even 6 months ahead of time. We have a number of challenges in 2024, and I hope that if these challenges are met in 2025, it will help us. The first and the most obvious, which stakeholders have complained about, is the stability in the exchange rate fluctuations. It really affected us in 2024, and I'm happy that this Parliament is actually taking the lead to bring all stakeholders together to see that we work out an exchange rate that will allow for planning and predictability in the business environment. Most importantly, we can only talk about meeting this revenue target if this Parliament allows Nigeria Customs Service to continue to do its job, for which it has demonstrated excellence over the last years. Thank you very much.
NNPC Group's CEO.